Hey, everybody, and welcome to the first live stream ever for Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. We're going to see if anybody's out there and see if anybody joins this live stream. I got a table back there. Let me move that over. Looks like it's on the other side there. Hold on a minute. All righty. Let's see if we get anybody in here. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm hoping. Let's see. This is, of course, just an experiment. I don't know if this is like the worst day to do this or not, but we'll certainly see about that. Just waiting to see if anybody joins. Hopefully, we have some people out there who are going to join us. But anyway, this will be taped, I assume. So I just figured I would do something different. And it's kind of weird. I kind of want to look at myself this way, but I should really be looking up. But just wanted to mention a few things for the live stream. First off, maybe a little Brooklyn history. Well, let's see. Do we have anybody watching out there? Let's see. I don't know. You guys could type in down here at the chat as well. So like you could put in, like I put in welcome, everybody. So happy 4th of July, who's ever out there watching. This is a first time thing for me. Let me know if you can hear me, if you want to type out who's there. So interesting stuff going on today. Of course, there's always interesting stuff going on at Disney. First off, happy 4th of July. I wanted to mention some Brooklyn history, which is really kind of cool. I just done a video on this, and it's that when the British actually invaded America, which they did in 1776, right? They unloaded their troops. I think it was 15,000 troops that they unloaded. That they did that right near the Verrazano Bridge, right near where, if you've ever seen Saturday Night Fever, where Tony Manero, John Travolta, sits with Stephanie at the bridge. And of course, Tony loves the bridge. He knows all the stats about the bridge and all that great stuff. That's where they actually unloaded all the troops because that area was loyal to Tories at that point. So they unloaded the troops right there. The Battle of Brooklyn happened over a series of a week or so after that. And if you remember your history correctly, eventually George Washington escaped to Valley Forge. The 400 guys from Maryland stayed behind, and they sacrificed themselves so that the American army could escape. So thought that was a little piece of interesting history there that's been put out. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's here. I mean, again, this is a first time thing. I didn't announce it. I'm actually looking too. So I want to talk a little bit about Disney, of course, which is always a popular topic. I'm looking at my app here. I have an app as an annual pass holder. I mean, I don't know if you have to get. Yeah, I mean, I assume I'll show this to you. I don't know if you can really see it that way. But anyway, it's an app that shows you what the wait times are for the rides over at Disney. And having worked Magic Kingdom, having worked Disney for a really long time, I'm familiar with how busy the day is. It's if you're going to go, if you're going to say to me, what 2 days should I avoid going to the Magic Kingdom, I would say New Year's Eve, and I would say 4th of July. Again, for me, I always enjoy it. It's a fun time being at Disney all the time, Captain America. But It seems to me that Disney is less busy today. So let me show you now. I'm looking at my app now, and Astro Orbiter is a 20-minute wait. So now typically how does it work at Disney, right? How does it work? You you essentially at Disney, 50,000 people is a little tight at Magic Kingdom. They'll do typically about 70,000, and then they'll close off the park to everybody except annual pass holders and maybe some DVC, of course, Club 33. And once it gets to about 70,000 guests in in the Magic Kingdom, it's really, really tight, as you could say, and you really can't get on much. But I'm just looking here. Let me get back to my app. I'm just looking here again at the wait times, and oddly enough, it just doesn't seem like there's too much of a wait on most of these things. Um, let's see. The Barnstormer is currently a 20-minute wait, and that's not much of a wait at all for 4th of July. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is right now it's closed. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. You guys, if you want to type in on the chat, just let me know if you can hear me or not, because I'm really not sure. It's the first time I'm doing this. I thought it'd be fun to do this. And oh no, no, Biden's not at Disney. Uh, um, he's he's probably, I'm going to type this out, probably dropping out, according to O'Reilly. So this is my first live stream that I've ever done for my channel. So I kind of just jumbled through the title. I thought we'd talk about Joe Biden too down the road as well. But no, Biden is not at, well, technically Joe Biden is at Disney. He's in the Hall of Presidents. And not to make a bad joke, because I really feel sorry for the man. Maybe the Joe Biden at the Hall of Presidents is probably more animated than the one we got at the debate. I don't know. I mean, no, none of us are getting any younger, and people smarter than me are going to decide whether he's going to stay in there or not. But according to things yeah, mentally at Disney, um, we're going to say HOP, the Hall of Presidents. And you guys, can you hear me okay? Let me know, because first time I'm live streaming on this. None of us can drop nukes. Yeah. Oh, I know. I was listening to a thing today from Bill O'Reilly. Let's just talk about this. We'll drop the Disney thing for a second. I was listening to a thing today from Bill O'Reilly, and Bill O'Reilly is very connected inside the White House, and he doesn't really say who his sources are. But according to his sources, Joe Biden is only active pretty much 10 o'clock in the morning to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then after that, he's pretty much not really doing too much. And even during that period of time, he doesn't really do too much. He doesn't have a heavy schedule. And what they're hearing now, outside of the outside or through Bill O'Reilly, is that Jill Biden is the one that pretty much is kind of like his handler, and Joe is really not really conducting the nation. There's a lot of people that are scared that if that phone call comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning, outside of his window of 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, what really is going to happen. So that's what they were talking about today. And apparently this is, and again, we're not going to get political on the channel. I'm just kind of here reporting the news as it was on today from Bill O'Reilly. And they're just essentially saying that he's been like this for about a year, and that a lot of the party is they're holding things from the people, and he's really been an absentee president, and a lot of folks are really worried that if something were to happen, he really can't handle the job of being commander in chief, and that the three people who are really running the country are probably like Jill Biden, and there's I can't remember the guy's name. He's an Irish guy. Man, I can't think of what his name is. He's either not he's one of the he's not the Secretary of State, but he's somewhere pretty high up there and he's a White House staffer, and he's got a lot of experience, and he apparently is doing a lot of the day-to-day stuff as to what's going on. So I don't know. Somehow we ended up with Biden, but I just want to let you guys know. I want to just stick a little bit to Fourth of July, right? Captain America, Fourth of July. That a lot of you probably don't know. If anyone's out there seeing Saturday Night Fever, again, the bench that Tony sits on, right where that bench is, pretty much right in that area, is where the British actually unloaded their troops, 15,000 troops for the Battle of Brooklyn. How they got the troops over, and it's kind of really interesting. A lot of people don't know that. And what's even more interesting is that there's no marker there. I mean, I've said for years, if you guys want to check out my channel right here, Kindred Souls of Brooklyn of Sarasota, and and Brooklyn and Sarasota, I just did a video on it, and I show Tony Monero's bench, and I show you where this is. There's actually a gate that's right there, right next to, it's right on the roadway on Shore Parkway. And the U.S. Army base is right behind it. It's Fort Hamilton. Now, if you guys don't know, there's two Army bases right there. It's Fort Hamilton on the Brooklyn side of the Verrazano Bridge, and then you have Fort Wadsworth over on the Staten Island side. And when do you kind of see these? Is when, if you watch the New York City Marathon, you kind of see some of it. But Wadsworth, there's not much going on at Wadsworth these days. I think it's only like Coast Guard's got a couple of ships over there. That's about it. But there's actually a garrison over. Garrison is usually about 5,000 troops. Um, there's a garrison over at Fort Hamilton, and it's what they call a MEPS base. It's kind of like where, when you join the military, you kind of go in there and you take like your oath, and they kind of prepare you for where you're going and what you're doing. Like, you'll do the initial paperwork and things like that. So it's a MEPS base. I've actually, living in Brooklyn, I've actually been to Fort Hamilton lots of times. Since 9/11, it's gotten security's gotten a lot tighter on the base, but before 9/11, they would always have carnivals in there, and my niece would always. She belonged to a swimming team that was, because it's right near a bridge, and it's summertime. She'd go in there, and there's a great big pool in there and stuff. So she belonged to that. So the access to the base wasn't as difficult as it is these days. There's also a PX in there, so if you form a military, you can go in there, and I apologize for not looking at you guys. I keep looking at myself. So used to doing videos, right? There's a PX in there where people can go in there and they could buy cigarettes or clothes or radios, or it's kind of interesting. I have some friends who are in the military, and a lot of times when you can't buy like a Nintendo system or something, like in Toys R Us is pretty much gone, but when things are unavailable on the regular market, a lot of times you can find stuff over at a PX, and they got all kinds of stuff, obviously, because soldiers are living on base and they need watches and video games and all the stuff that everybody else needs. A lot of times it should be available to them first, right? By rights, they're defending the country, and a lot of times you can find stuff over there. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's a really cool thing to check out. If you guys are anywhere in the Brooklyn area, you just go to the little park that's right underneath the Verrazano Bridge. It's what exit is it? It's right off the Bay Ridge. It's where Bay Ridge is, and it's I'm forgetting the exact exit now, but it's really not hard to miss. It's where where the span of the bridge is on the Brooklyn side, and you'll see a little place to pull off into, and you could pull up in there, and that's where Tony sat. And right where that is, you could find the bench. You could find where the British invaded. And I was telling you, there's a gate there from the U.S. Army. Kind of got distracted, right? There's a gate there where you can't go beyond this little gate. It's small. It's a little area, and there are some people who think that there's like a hidden tunnel under there or something like that that goes between Wadsworth and Hamilton. I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But for some odd reason, you can't go into this gated area. And I've done a video on that too. If you look on my channel, you'll see that video. It's a pretty popular video. I think it's got like 48,000 views. One of my better ones that I've done. And, so check that out. So yeah, getting back to Disney, a lot of things going on at Disney right now. having worked for the company, Disney was always a company that brought people together. And I find that these days, a lot of times, when I say bring people together, it would bring, obviously the families together. But now it seems like there's a lot of people inside of the families. Like one of my relatives, I'm not going to say which one, the wife actually doesn't want to go to Disney because she's saying, hey, it's I don't know if I could use even the word on YouTube, but it's the thing that's rhymes with broke, and she won't go there, and yet the daughter wants to go, and their kids are older, mind you, so they've already been there. It isn't like they're depriving their kids of a Disney trip, but it's weird. I think again. So what am I saying? Disney really should get out of politics and just be an animation company, be a theme park company. I think it'd probably be a little bit better for them. And yeah, but yeah, let's go check on what else is going on over here at the app. So Big Thunder Mountain is closed right now. Buzz Lightyear is only a 40-minute wait, which is really surprising. I mean, again, it seems like it's not. We're annual pass holders, and we've been going to Disney a lot. Maybe we try to go every couple of weeks, and the crowds at Disney are much less than they've ever been before. I worked Magic Kingdom for 7 years. I think I'm a good barometer as far as like how busy things are, and between the prices and and that's what it is. You're paying $175 to come in. If you haven't been there for a while, they've done away with fast passes, and so now you got to buy a thing called Lightning Lane or whatever they're calling it. They changed the name to it. They messed around with the disability pass. A lot of people are frustrated with that lately with them, and the food prices are really they're high. I mean, like we went into Pinocchio's Village House. My wife and I, we had two pieces of pizza, which weren't big, a salad, two sodas, and it was like $48. And that on top of paying $175 to get in, you're really not. Now again, we enjoy it. We're not looking to go on the cutting edge. Things would be nice if it was a little cutting edge, but we go for other reasons. For those who don't know, we had lost my son, so we go. It's a remembrance type of thing, and we walk around, and we just want a peaceful time. So it's not really as important in that sense. I'm going around kind of playing like quasi cast member. A lot of times, we'll find things or we'll help people out with directions or whatever, and we just enjoy being there. But for someone actually, and I get a lot of phone calls. People call me up and say, "What should I do? Where should I visit? I'm only going for one day." And I had a friend of mine who I know from Brooklyn, and he actually called and said, "I haven't been there in 10 years. What really is new?" And I said, "Well, Tron is new." And I didn't want to tell the guy, go there and spend, because that's what you're looking at, going there with four kids. You're talking about four kids and mother and father, grandparents, and parking for the day and food. You're talking like a $1,200 day, and you know, um, it's a lot to tell someone to go do that. So I don't want to tell him that because he had been there, and I said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell him it was right around the time was around July where they start doing the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing to go do. They put live actors on Pirates of the Caribbean. They put live actors on Haunted Mansion, and I told them to go to that, and they absolutely loved it because it was different. There's a different parade. They give you candy. The kids have a good time. A lot of the characters are out, so it's a fun time. It's a fun time. So it worked out for the best. So yeah. So where are we going on this chat? I really don't know, but I just figured I would do this. I had gotten home from work, and Kerry's actually working, so I figured I have a little time to do this, and I figured why not? Try this out. It's always something interesting to do some different stuff on on a live chat. You guys can type in down here. If you look on your bottom screen, I can't really see who's here. I see Sonic Imperium. I don't know if you're still there, Sonic Imperium. And I don't know who else is out there. Looks like there might be someone else out there. Not quite sure who. Oh, Sherry Gardens. Good to see you, Sherry. How you doing? Happy to see you. Are you a Disney fan, or nice to have you on the chat? I don't know if you belong to the if you're a member on my YouTube channel, but I'd love to have you subscribe. We try, I try to do some interesting videos on Disney and Brooklyn. Happy 4th of July. I don't know if you were there when I was saying it, but if you've ever seen the movie Saturday Night Fever, the bench where Tony sits is actually the right near where the British actually unloaded their ships on, when they invaded Brooklyn, which is basically when they invaded America. And it's kind of interesting. And if you ever go to Brooklyn, I think you'd find that really interesting. But if you're not, or you can't, just check out the video on my channel. I think you'd enjoy it. So anyway, where are you from, Sherry? What part of you don't got to give an address, obviously, but geographically, New York, Florida, where are you coming in from? We'll wait for you to. I think you have to wait 60 seconds in between comments. Let me look to see what else is going on here at Disney. Dumbo the Flying Elephant. This is standby. Okay. Hall of Presidents. I was making a joke before that. Unfortunately, the President Biden inside of Hall of Presidents is probably more animated than the poor guy we got now. Haunted Mansion is 45 minutes right now. Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, your husband was from Brooklyn. Awesome. Very good. I don't know where he was from in Brooklyn, but we're from Park Slope, Windsor Terrace area, B15th Street on the F train. Let's see. Jungle Cruise has a standby line. I'm just doing my app. Winnie the Pooh, 30 minutes. I don't know. Having worked Magic Kingdom for 7 years, for 7 4th of Julys, it doesn't seem to be as busy as it should be. And again, is it prices? Is it something that's happening? I don't want to say the word again. Rhymes with broke, right? Some people saying it's that. I want to say right now, though, personally, having worked for the company, I mean, even if you believe that that's how Disney is, it's not really how most of the people. I mean, I worked Magic Kingdom. My first job was driving monorail. Then I worked guest relations, and my degree is criminal justice. So I ended up going as a security coordinator. So I've worked in a lot of divisions in Disney. And for those people who say that, oh, Disney is this and Disney's that, what you're pretty much reading on the media and seeing on the media, these are the people high up that are really that way. They're not. They're not the average person working at the company. The average person working at the company has kids. They're just trying to go to work and come out. A lot of them just love the company. They love the history. You don't have too many people. Yes. Do we have a diverse cast at Disney? Oh, 100%. I mean, there's lots of diversity at Disney. I mean, again, I don't notice it because, I notice it because I make friends with people and I'm all about that. Like I said, someone who was on guest relations, obviously, you're going to assume is outgoing, which I am. But coming from New York, and from Brooklyn, it's like being in Brooklyn. I mean, you just, we all had different friends in high school and at workplaces and in our neighborhoods and everywhere at church or whatever. And Disney's the same way. So I really can't tell you that the whole company is that way. It's not. But there are people on the top doing certain things, and the company is not really in the best of all positions right now. The stock is down to, I believe, $99, which is kind of low. They're up to 210 for quite a long time. Star Wars with the Disney side of it, if you guys don't know, Disney bought Star Wars for $7 billion. It worked out to be from George Lucas back in like 2012. They had bought Marvel in 2008, and unfortunately, they've kind of disintegrated the Star Wars brand. They've isolated a lot of fans. They've kind of like gone away from the whole thing. Star Wars was always the Skywalker family, and they've gone away from that. And a lot of the fans are really annoyed that they've done that. So they've lost a lot of fans that way. The latest show, The Acolyte, which is on Disney Plus right now, is doing very poorly. It's only about a 13% Rotten Tomatoes score. Just very poorly written. They spent $180 million on it. And honestly, if you look at it and you look at the effects of it, it just seems like it's like a high school Like, and again, there's no offense to that, but it's like if you gave me money to do a show, I'd probably do a better job because I love Star Wars, and that's what kind of everybody's been saying about it. Not too impressive with the aliens or the sets or the they don't really have any big actors either. The one actor that they have, he's doing a great job. Is actually learning. He learned English to play this role, and he's doing a fabulous job. But most of the other people doing it, not so much. And it's just kind of like a very stoic acting portrayal. So I don't know. So the company is in a kind of crazy juxtaposition right now. And of course, why are people talking about this? It's because Universal is opening a new theme park in 2025 in Orlando. It's called Epic Universe, and it's going to join their other two parks, regular, the classic Universal Studios, and also the Islands of Adventure. So now you're going to be talking Universal with three theme parks. And not only is their third theme park going to be brand new, it is cutting edge, it's state of the art animatronics that are out of this world. I'm not a big Universal fan. I mean, I'm not going to knock anything, but I'm a Disney guy, and but the fact of the matter is they're going to have performers, street performers, cutting edge rides, and these are all things that Disney is just really not been investing in their American parks. A little stat that you guys might not know, that 33% of the money that Disney makes theme park wise around the world is from the Magic Kingdom. It's from the Florida parks. And yet last year they only spent 1% of the money that they brought in was spent on those parks. So they're spending the money elsewhere. They're not seeing returns elsewhere. And the park that's the most beloved park. Disneyland is the legacy park. It's the older brother of the two, if you must. But Disney World is the cash cow, Walt Disney World, because that's the official name of it. And we can thank Roy Disney for that. After Walt died, he changed the name from Disney World to Walt Disney World to honor his late brother, which I think was one of the greatest things any brother's ever done for someone. So for another brother, anyway, really was a nice legacy. So yeah, I'll probably go 30 minutes on this and just see how it went. This is kind of interesting. I appreciate Sherry commenting, Sherry and Sonic Imperium. And next time I do this, I'll definitely give a little more advanced warning. I think we have another person out there. If you guys want to just type in, you can just type in at the bottom, and you can let me know that you're here. I do see that there's two people in here. I don't know if it's counting me and Sherry only, but yeah. But anyway, anything else you guys want me to talk about before I end the live stream at 30 minutes? I got about 2 or 3. I don't have to end it at 30, but there's only a few people on here. Does anybody have a Disney question? I'm really good at answering Disney questions, especially park related, having worked in the Magic Kingdom. I mean, I've worked every park in Florida, but Magic Kingdom was my home. So when I literally tell you I've worked in the Utilidor, upstairs, downstairs. Because I was guest relations and security, I pretty much have gone everywhere. The only place I haven't been is Club 33 that I haven't been inside of. But short of that, I used to give out the Castle Suite as part of Dream Squad. So I've been in the Castle Suite numerous times. So if anybody has any questions about anything in the Magic Kingdom of Disney, I could certainly answer that. And if you guys have some Brooklyn questions, I'm pretty good on Brooklyn too, having lived there for 50 years and done lots of videos. I did a great video on, if you guys remember this, it's a store called Job Lot that was right on Chambers Street, not too far from the World Trade Center. And I get a lot of comments and a lot of emails for that, because it was this beloved store that was, kind of like a Five Below store, but way, way, way before that. This was the 70s. And the guy, you never knew what you'd expect in there. It was kind of like a Five Below mixed with Marshalls, mixed with Macy's Backstage, mixed with whatever. So, yeah. So it's interesting. So, we'll see what happens with all of that stuff. And let me think. Oh, a little more Disney news. They updated Country Bear Jamboree. So that one's going to be open officially on June the 17th. As annual pass holds, I think, I don't know. I've heard that only Magic Kingdom cast members are getting typically they do a preview for all cast members, but I think only Magic Kingdom cast members are getting a preview of this one. And I'm not sure if annual pass holders are getting a preview. They usually they do send it, but you know, but anyway, they're updating all the songs in it. They actually took out one character, Liver Lips McGraw, because they said he was offensive, so he's out. But the characters all have new costumes. They're one of the songs is going to be they're doing. Let's see, what's the one that they're doing? They're doing try everything from Zootopia. That one's going to be in there. Of course, they're doing Bare Necessities. They're doing A Whole New World from Aladdin, and all of this is going to be from a country beat type of thing. So yeah, so it should be really cool. All right, so I'm beyond my 30 minutes here. I'm going to end the stream. I thank everybody for joining me for a first time. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Um, and I hope to see you on my channel. Drop me a comment if you guys want to send me an email. It's wafflesfoundation@gmail.com, or just leave a comment on one of my videos. And I really try to get back to everyone's comments. I really do. It's one of the most fun things of having a YouTube channel is just seeing all the people comment and hearing the stories. And I even do. Some people have asked me to do certain videos, and I've done those. One on the Jova jelly rolls. I did one, and one was I think certain pizzeria that I had gone to. But anyway, so love you guys. Thanks for joining me on the live stream. This is Al signing off. Happy 4th of July to America and to you and to everybody across the world. And as they say at Disney, or as I used to say a lot, see you real soon. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.